Hey, Vikings faithful. What's good, Skol Nation? Buckle up, because today we're diving into a wild ride through the Minnesota Vikings NFL draft history. 64 drafts packed with highs, lows, and some straight-up head-scratchers. We've got a spicy topic on deck. The biggest draft busts in Vikings lore. Sports Illustrated dropped a hot take, crowning running back DJ Dozier as the franchise's biggest flop. But is that label fair? Or are there others who crashed harder? Let's unpack this drama, from shocking picks to infamous trades, and trust me, you won't believe what went down with one guy after just one practice. Ready? Let's hit the gridiron. First up, let's talk DJ Dozier, the guy Sports Illustrated's Matt Verderame called our biggest draft bust. Back in 1987, the Vikings snagged Dozier 14th overall out of Penn State, banking on his speed and versatility to ignite the offense. He was a hyped-up prospect, a dual-threat running back who could catch passes and break tackles. But here's the kicker. Dozier never quite found his groove in Minnesota, averaging just 3.9 yards per carry over 4 seasons. Why'd it flop? Some say the offensive scheme didn't fit his style. Others point to injuries slowing him down. Still, he played 43 games and racked up nearly 1,000 rushing yards for us. Biggest bust ever? I'm not so sure. Let's dig deeper. Now hold on, Verderame's take gets juicier when you zoom out. Dozier's underwhelming stint wasn't just a standalone fumble. It set off a chain reaction that changed Vikings history. His lackluster performance left the front office desperate for a star running back, and that desperation led to the trade, the infamous Herschel Walker deal in 1989. We shipped off a king's ransom, 5 players and 8 draft picks, to Dallas for Walker, only to watch him struggle while the Cowboys built a dynasty with our picks. Dozier wasn't the sole culprit, but as the first domino, his name carries weight. What do you think? Was he the spark of that disaster, or is this label too harsh? Let's shift gears to 1999, where things get downright bizarre. The Vikings were riding high with 2 first-round picks, 11th and 29th overall. At 11, they struck gold with Dante Culpepper, a franchise quarterback who'd light up the scoreboard for years. But that 29th pick? Oh man, brace yourselves for Demetrius Underwood. Selected as an edge rusher from Michigan State, Underwood came with red flags, character concerns, and inconsistent college tape. The Vikings rolled the dice anyway, hoping his raw talent would shine. Guess what? Didn't. This is where it gets wild. Let's see what happened next. Underwood's story is one for the ages, folks. After all the hype, the guy shows up to training camp in 1999, participates in one single practice, and then, poof, he's gone. He walked away, citing a conflict between his Christian faith and playing football for the Vikings. No heads up, no second chances, just one practice and he was out the door. The Vikings were left stunned, with nothing to show for a first-round pick. 0 snaps, 0 stats, 0 impact. Can you imagine the front office's reaction? Was Underwood's exit a personal stand? Or did the pressure of the NFL just break him? Drop your thoughts in the comments. Now, let's pivot to another name that stings, Christian Ponder. In 2011, the Vikings grabbed him 12th overall, dreaming he'd be the quarterback to end our Super Bowl drought. Ponder had the arm, the smarts, and a winning record at Florida State, so the hype was real. Early on, he showed flashes. Remember that 2012 season when he went 10-6 as a starter and got us to the playoffs? But the cracks showed fast. Inconsistent throws, shaky pocket presence, and by year 3 he was benched for good. Teddy Bridgewater was drafted the next year, and Ponder's Vikings chapter closed quietly. Ponder's flameout hurt because the expectations were sky-high. That 2011 draft saw studs like J.J. Watt and Von Miller go just before him. Talk about a missed opportunity. He finished his Vikings tenure with a 14-20-1 record as a starter and more interceptions, 36, than touchdowns, 38. Fans still debate if he was set up to fail, no elite receivers, spotty O-line, or if he just didn't have the clutch gene. Either way, by 2014 he was a backup and the Bridgewater era began. Do you think Ponder deserves the bust tag more than Dozier or Underwood? Let's hear it. Okay, let's zoom out and look at the big picture. Dozier, Underwood, Ponder each flopped in their own way. But who takes the crown for biggest bust? Dozier at least played and contributed, even if it wasn't superstar level. Underwood's one-practice vanishing act is almost comical in its brevity. Ponder, he had the longest leash but never lived up to that top 12 billing. The Vikings draft history is a roller coaster, 64 years with gems like Randy Moss and Adrian Peterson. But these misses sting. Which bust haunts you the most, Skol fans? I need to know. Let's tie this together with some perspective. The Vikings draft struggles aren't just about these three. From Troy Williamson's dropped passes to Laquan Treadwell's quiet tenure, we've had our share of swings and misses. Yet, every draft is a fresh shot at glory. Think Justin Jefferson in 2020, a steal at 22nd overall. Mistakes like Dozier or Underwood teach tough lessons, but they fuel the hunger for that perfect pick. With the 2025 draft looming, what position should we target to avoid another bust? Cornerback? D-line? Chime in below. All right, Skol Nation. That's the wrap on our deep dive into the Vikings' biggest draft busts. From Dozier's domino effect to Underwood's vanishing act and Ponder's faded promise, these stories remind us why we love this game. It's unpredictable and keeps us on our toes. If you're as fired up as I am, smash that like button, drop a comment with your take, and subscribe for more Vikings news to keep the Skol spirit alive. Share this with your fellow fans, and let's keep the conversation roaring. Until next time, Skol Vikings.